The Hurricane Melissa, hundreds of Jamaicans are still living under tarpaulins in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. Nearly 9 months after Hurricane Melissa tore through western Jamaica, hundreds of families in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth are still living in makeshift shelters, damaged homes, and unsafe conditions, raising serious questions about the pace of recovery and whether the country's most vulnerable residents have been left behind. While roads have largely reopened and businesses have resumed operations in many areas, entire communities continue to struggle without permanent roofs, secure housing, or adequate building assistance. The prolonged hardship has become one of the most pressing humanitarian stories in Jamaica's post-hurricane recovery. Residents say they remain trapped in survival mode as they wait for assistance that has been promised but has yet to fully materialize. When Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica in late October 2025, it became one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded to make landfall on the island. Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth were among the worst affected parishes, suffering catastrophic wind damage, widespread flooding, and destruction of homes, farms, and public infrastructure. Initial assessment indicated that approximately 150,000 homes were damaged or destroyed, while thousands of families were displaced. Although emergency relief operations began quickly after the storm, rebuilding permanent housing has proven to be a much slower process. Across sections of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, many residents remain under temporary tarpaulins stretched across partially collapsed houses. Others continue to occupy damaged structures that offer little protection from rain or strong winds. Residents interviewed by international and local media have described months of uncertainty, saying they have received damage assessments and occasional emergency supplies, but are still waiting for meaningful assistance to rebuild their homes. Some families report relying on relatives, churches, and community donations simply to survive. For many, the emotional toll has become almost as severe as the physical damage.
Yard. The residents say Melissa didn't just pass through, it reshaped their lives.
Here is my cooking here. I put my stove right here. I cook my nice food and eat and drink. I had that table where I put my pot and stuff and my oil, and I put my detergent right here. My cylinder is right here. If you come, I can take up these clothes. I have a seat right here. And then I jump on my bed and lay down. And it's not too hot, through the rainfall and the earth kind of little soak.
Just meters away, Althea Beckford is seeing the first signs of rebuilding. On Thursday, the police, representatives from UA, the Bushy Park Seventh-day Adventist Church, and other volunteers came with lumber, roofing material, and
The continuing housing crisis is affecting children as well. Many families say their children are attempting to study and live normal lives inside homes with leaking roofs, exposed timber, and makeshift walls. Community leaders have warned that prolonged exposure to these conditions increases health risks while placing additional pressure on already vulnerable households. Aid agencies have also expressed concern that temporary shelter solutions were never intended to last for many months. Government agencies have carried out extensive damage assessments and announced recovery programs following the hurricane. However, rebuilding thousands of private homes requires enormous financial resources and logistical coordination. Officials have cited the unprecedented scale of destruction, the high cost of reconstruction, and the need to prioritize the most vulnerable households as major challenges facing the recovery effort. Nevertheless, opposition representatives, community advocates, and some residents argue that recovery has not moved quickly enough in the hardest hit communities. Despite the ongoing challenges, local churches, service clubs, diaspora organizations, and volunteers have continued supporting affected communities through food distributions, rebuilding supplies, and small-scale reconstruction projects. Community leaders say these grassroots efforts have helped many families but cannot replace comprehensive rebuilding programs capable of restoring hundreds of damaged homes. For hundreds of Jamaicans, recovery remains unfinished. The coming months are expected to be critical as government agencies, humanitarian organizations, and community groups continue efforts to provide permanent housing solutions before another hurricane season poses renewed risks to families still living under temporary shelter. As Jamaica continues its recovery from one of the most destructive storms in its history, the situation in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth serves as a reminder that disaster recovery does not end when floodwaters recede.